My guest is one of the best dunkers of all time. Make that the best dunker of all time. His dunk over Frederick Weiss remains one of the greatest moments of my life. He's played 19 seasons in the NBA, made 8 All-Star teams, and has no plans of slowing down, even at age 40. Vince Carter joins us in studio right now, courtesy of Verizon, which we'll get to in just a second. But Vince, first of all, welcome to the show, man. And it's the NBA draft. I mean, it's been a long time since you were a part of that process.
About 19 years or so, right?
19 years exactly,
Yeah.
right? What goes through your mind every year around this time?
I mean, I briefly think about it. I'm so far removed from it, but at the same time, you think of this. This is where it all started. You know, the butterflies, but yet excited. Trying to figure out where's your next destination. Where's this opportunity of being in the draft, experiencing the draft? Where is it going to take me, and where do I land from there?
Now, there's always trade rumors circling this time of year. There's a chance that some of these draft picks don't end up playing for the teams that take them. As someone who was part of a draft day trade, what do you do to mentally prepare yourself for something like that?
Well, for me, I didn't know how to prepare for it because I didn't know I was going to be traded at that time. And it's always the guessing game. You hear about it, and all you can do is just be prepared for it. And your options. My agent at the time had me prepared for it. He's like, okay, we think we're going, because that's just all it is. It's just like a guessing game as far as, I mean, if you're the number one pick or the top 3 and you're pretty much guaranteed, you're guaranteed. After that, it's kind of like a guessing game. And for me, I was projected anywhere from the 3 pick, which was Denver, down to the 8th pick, which I think was Sacramento.
It's okay if you don't have that exact.
But I was somewhere in there. So. But we felt like we were projected somewhere in the 3 and 5 range. So that was Denver, Toronto, Golden State. And once Antoine was drafted, as they go down, of course, because he marks it off the list. So once Antoine was drafted to Toronto, we kind of figured, okay, what we were hearing more and more, obviously your agent's on the phone constantly throughout the draft. We're here at Golden State. And, of course, Golden State. And once I get up there, put that hat on, David Stern says, wait 1 second, there's about to be a trade. He didn't tell me, which I wish he did. He didn't tell me I was about to be the one traded. But at the same time, it was just an experience. I was introduced to the business of basketball immediately. You work your life to kind of get into the NBA and play, and it's all about NBA, the game. It's the other side of the game that you kind of have to understand and learn as well. And I was introduced to that immediately.
And that was before the Twitter and social media explosion.
100%.
So you couldn't check your trade before it actually went down.
No.
You found out live at the moment.
Right.
Let's have some fun with that draft. Dirk Nowitzki, Paul Pierce, yourself, the big players. Let's say it was redone. Who are the Clippers taking #1 overall?
It better take me. No, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, if you're looking at it now, Dirk would probably be the first pick. I mean, look at what he's accomplished. Paul is a possibility at 2. So I mean, there's a lot of guys. It just we can only speculate because it's all of needs and what guys need, what the teams need. But as far as ability and what they've done, that guy Dirk Nowitzki has been unbelievable.
He even has a patented move, that one-legged fadeaway.
Absolutely.
Nobody can do your patented moves, jumping in and sticking your elbow in the rim and all that.
Shoot, nowadays, these guys some of those guys can do it. I don't know if they're going to, if they, oh, well, yeah, there's a couple of them. I'll give a couple of them.
Can you still do it?
Probably not like back then.
Well,
No.
yeah, I mean.
There's a few of them I could do.
You do hold the honor of being the oldest statesman of the NBA right now. I mean,
I'm okay with that.
It's pretty crazy that you're the oldest player in the NBA. You seem to be feeling as good as ever. In April, you said to Real GM, I said to myself, I want to play 15 years. I don't know where I got that from. And then I got to 15 years, and I kept going. I never capped it, but at the same time, I've had a lot of players remind me of things I've said. I'm still saying 2 more years, and I'm done. You seem pretty happy with your time in Memphis. Are you expecting to spend the final years of your career there?
As a free agent, you kind of never know, especially an older free agent. You never know where you land. But my time in Memphis has been great. I've accomplished a lot. I've played with some great players. Watching Mike Conley flourish into the player that he is today, playing with Marc Gasol, who's really transcended the 5-man position as far as a big man at 7 feet, 7'1", who can shoot the 3-point shot. So I definitely wouldn't mind going back to Memphis. I've talked with Fizdale multiple times about my feelings for Memphis and the team and being there. So we're definitely going to talk and see what happens. Hopefully we can work it out where I stay. I'm a guy. I believe in comfort, and I'm very comfortable there. I've established a lot. Worked with some great guys. When you come to work and you enjoy going to work with the guys, why change that? Regardless of all the other opportunities that's out there and what's been said. I definitely want to hear what Memphis has to say first.
I think that's an interesting perspective that some regular fans don't relate to because for whatever reason, they don't see your guys' jobs as your regular jobs that you're going to work day to day. So those environments really contribute to that.
Right.
Now, a lot of guys at the end of their careers tend to ring chase or what have you, however you want to phrase it. We just saw David West go to Golden State. Is that something you'd consider right now at this point in your career, jumping onto a super team per se?
It's tough when you say ring chase. Like I consider ring chasing, this is just my opinion, when I'm the one calling these teams and saying, hey, please, if you have an available spot, I would love to play on your team, whether I play or not. I consider that ring chasing, just being on the team where you're just there but not contributing. I want to play. I want to be on a team where I can contribute and do for my team, more so than just sit on the bench and just be a part of all the wins, all the losses, and hopefully a championship. So, for me, I think ring chasing is not, that's not my thing. I'm not going to call a team and I don't want to use the word beg, but see if I can play for their team just to be on their team. So, so with that being said, no ring chasing, but I'm all about opportunity. I will be a free agent if things don't work out in Memphis for some reason. Other teams will have to call. I have to find somewhere to go.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, you've had a great later career, and you saw an increase in minutes this past season, even with the Grizzlies, but not the level it was earlier in your career, obviously. It's been tough for some superstars to make the transition to role players, have their roles reduced a little bit. And you're a guy I point to as one of the best examples of that. How exactly did you make that transition from being the man to being a cog, but a productive one?
It's about understanding your role. And when you're coming to the NBA as a rookie and you're drafted, you understand who you are and you figure out your way, whatever that may be. And I think for me, accepting my new role, I was looking at the bigger picture. I still wanted to play the game. How can I stay in this league? And I did my homework. I watched the Vinnie Johnsons of the world, the Manu Ginobilis of the world, the Jason Terrys of the world, these guys who are great six men who should have been and could have been starters anywhere in the NBA, but they incorporated their game into their style as six men. And I think I incorporated who I am as a player into that role, and it's worked out for me.
And despite being near the end of your career, you said you feel great. What is it exactly that you do to get that working at this age? Because we all know it's not the same, right? I played pickup basketball. I can't walk for a few days.
Tough. Yeah, it's tough. Just first of all, consistency on taking care of your body. I stretch a lot. I put in a lot. There's me stretching right there. But I stretch as much as possible. Checking in the game before and after the game. I lift weights after the game. I watch what I eat somewhat, but I've been blessed in that aspect. But more importantly, I've learned over the years what works for me, and I've incorporated routine, and I'm consistent with it because that's the only way you survive at that age. When you take, like you say, you play pickup ball and you take time off, your body gets laxed. Then you try to say, hey, let's go. You think you're young. You can't do that. So it takes a lot of consistency, and I've been able to do that.
Yeah, I need to do a little more yoga, I guess.
Hey, simple stretching even will help you. Believe it or not, I stretch at night before I go to sleep, and it's nothing major. I don't have this exclusive or outlandish stretch. It's real simple stretches just to kind of keep the body loose, and I kind of do a little stretching in the morning. Those things help.
You might pull your neck muscle or something, twisting your head, doing a double take at some of these contracts that get handed out nowadays. And Dwayne Wade had tweeted the other day that his production really justifies his contract regardless of his age. Now, you made about $159 million, I believe, in your
Ballpark.
NBA career, give or take.
Yeah.
And you're Mike Conley. I mean, he just is making that on one contract. Do you ever sort of scratch your head at some of the contracts that are getting doled out now?
It's just the way it's the way of the world, the way of the league right now. The players, the market is calling for big contracts right now, and it's a great opportunity for these guys. I mean, I told my mom once Mike signed, I said, "Man, you had me a little too soon." So, but it's still great to be a part of. I mean, even guys now, you look at the minimum contract, what guys are making now, and let's say 10 years ago, still a great opportunity. So I'm blessed to still be around, and just, hey, I don't mind taking the scraps right now.
And the NBA offseason has become such a big spectacle in and of itself. I mean, we cover everything.
Sure.
LeBron James shaved his head. He's now part of your club.
How about that? You know, when it's time, it's time. I realized that a long time ago. You know, Ray, there's a lot of us who tried to hold on for a long time, and I guess LeBron said, it's time.
You know,
Good for him.
It's time to ask you about you and Dirk being the only guys still around from that draft class now. Have you guys had any personal bets? I mean, you finally outlasted Paul Pierce.
Who's going
to make it the longest?
You know, it's funny. We did, when we were teammates, we were talking about who's going to last longer. I always told him I would last longer because I didn't think Dirk can move. But I tell you what, man, he makes it work. And from what I heard, he'll probably do a year or two. I say I'm going to outlast him, though.
So it's going to be a while before we see you guys in that Ice Cube League?
Yeah, it'll be a while. Absolutely. At least 2 years for me, and from what I hear, Dirk, but yeah, it'll be a while.
Now, we'll see you tonight, of course, the NBA draft with Verizon. You guys have a cool thing going on for fans who attend the draft at Barclays Center. Tell us what's going on with you and Verizon.
Hey, you know, I have this cool phone case here. Let's zoom it in. Well, right here. Oh, right there. There we go. This is the actual basketball here. Verizon is providing their customers who unlimited plan. Check it out. That's the basketball.
Oh yeah,
that's the real thing.
Yeah, it's got the grip.
I actually scored a point with that ball that they ripped up.
Oh yeah, is it
Oh, I like to think so, at least.
A good case? Could I dunk it through and it would survive?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. It's very durable. The NBA ball has lasted for a long time, so it's very doable. But I think it's something just to add some fun to the draft tonight. So for those Verizon fans, come on out. I'll be there, shaking hands, taking pictures, and those Verizon customers will get a free one. And for those who are not on Verizon, they can sign up right there, meet Vince, and get a free case as well.
Vince, really appreciate the time. Great to talk to you, man.
Thanks for having me. This is great.